As promised, we're doing the front wall this time. If you didn't watch the video on the left wall, then you might want to check that out. There were some major construction errors on my part that some of you may learn from. So if you also, if you see a glare coming on the floor, or if anything doesn't look level, it's an illusion, because trust me, everything's right in the middle of the bubble. So let's go ahead and get started with this. As I mentioned in the previous video, the far left-hand corner, under the shelf where the coffee pot and the toaster are, that's going to be where an oven will be installed. I'm going completely electric because of the gas prices, and eventually I want to get solar power going in here. So that's why there's that empty space over there beside the shelves there. Now, that shelf, I didn't really mention anything about that, but I built that shelf, as I do most of my shelves, out of nothing but just 1x8s. And really, I just cut them down to size. I get the brackets from Walmart. You know, they're cheap and they're decorative, the metal brackets. And then I just assemble them and put them up. So really, that's as simple as it gets, or it sounds simple, but sometimes when you want to get them in place, they want to shift or whatever, and you have to use, you know, for anyone that's trying to install something into their walls that has drywall behind it, you want to use drywall anchors. So the 50-pound drywall anchors seem to work good. That's pretty much what I did with it. Okay, so the front wall is painted antique white. I painted that wall antique white to give it more light in here. As you can see from the front window, which is dirty, there's a reason for that too. But there's only one window in here, and it lights up the room. I mean, it's already evening, and the room is lit up in here. So you don't even need to turn on the kitchen overhead light to be able to see how bright it is in here with just the one window. And that's because I used the antique white on the front wall there, above the countertops, you know, that entire wall, and gray on the ceiling. You want to be very careful with gray, just a little tip, because gray in certain lights comes out looking a little bit blue. So that's something you might want to keep in mind. I know there's a big echo in here. It's because it's not full of anything. You know, there's hardly any furniture in the house yet. So anyway, the countertop came from Lowe's. That I had to invest a little bit in to have it custom cut. As I've mentioned in the previous video, my buddy Kyle, he helps me with a lot of this stuff. So he had went ahead and installed the cabinets and the countertop, and actually had installed the sink in there too, but I did all of the plumbing work. He's not a plumber, but he's pretty much does everything else. So yeah, he installed that countertop and the cabinets and everything. Now the cabinets were the cheaper versions at Lowe's. I couldn't afford to get the really expensive ones, but I did stain them a walnut color, so you'll notice that they have a different kind of texture. If you can see it in the video well enough, they have a different type of texture. I didn't use oil over top of it because, again, this is a castle, so I wanted some things to look antiquated without actually having to do the antiquated system with the paintbrush and the chemicals and all that, which I may somewhere down the line do if my fiance will let me do it, because I really like the look of that kind of thing. So let's see, what else here? Oh, the appliances. Coffee pot, toaster, rice cooker, toaster oven, microwave, hot plate, and then on top of the refrigerator, there's an induction stove or induction plate that's sitting there. Those were gifts from my parents. God rest my dad's soul. Actually, I've mentioned this is an eclectic channel, and so if you look, you'll see I'm doing a book on audio about my dad's life, his death, and his legacy. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there for any of the intellectuals that would want to read it. So at any rate, again, back down to the water lines. I installed all the water lines throughout the entire place, including up through the sink and all of that. Now the mosaic tiles that are on the back above the countertop, I installed those. I had bought those mosaic tiles a long time ago, before all the gas prices and everything had gone up. And they were around $4.99 for a 12 by 12 piece. I came up 2 pieces short. When I went back to get them again, they were almost $14 a piece. So be careful when you're, if you're trying to do this on a budget. Now I hope you can see it in the video, there's a shelf right below the window. And again, let me explain why this window is so dirty. As I mentioned in the last video, this is an old trailer frame, 1980 Windsor, okay? And it's backed into the woods. This window is up so high, and you'll see that when we do the reveal of the castle part on the outside. That'll eventually come. Pretty much just out of laziness, neither one of us, Kyle or I, have climbed up there to clean it. So yeah, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Everything else in here, though, I did detailed cleaning. I almost even hate to be in this room. I've got it so clean, which is pretty bad. So again, the shelf, I hope you can see it, but again, it's another one. Now this shelf above the sink is a 1 by 10, because that's where the dishes are going to go on top of. I know some people like open shelves, some people don't. I like them. If my fiance gets here and she decides that she's not too fond of them, then, put up some cabinets, no big deal. As for the dishwasher, that was donated. There was a house that was being torn down, and a guy on Facebook was just giving everything away, so that was donated, so I went and got that. So keep your eye open for those kind of deals too. There's, you never know what you can get for as cheap as you can get it. So now the refrigerator, beside the dishwasher there, actually I got that free too. I got that from a retirement community. What they do is every several years they get rid of all of their old refrigerators and buy new refrigerators, and they just throw those away. So if you talk to the owners of some of these retirement communities and ask them about this, you just may be able to end up getting a new refrigerator that might have a little bit of dirt on it, and that's pretty much it. It works. So we discussed the dirty window and the height. Oh, it's really high. Kyle installed that window. Still has the sticker on it, and the sticker is even kind of faded. So that tells you the kind of time that we've put into this house when the sticker gets that faded. Again, there's only one window in here, but it lights up the room because of the antique white on the front wall and the gray on the ceiling. So let's see. I think we'll see all that stuff when we get to the exterior sections. So anyway, again, this is an eclectic channel. I have some of my songs on here if you'd like to check them out. Again, my dad's book is coming up. It's going to be a free book on audio, so give a couple of plugs for those too. And stay tuned for the right wall video, because I'm breaking this up into sections because I'm using a phone to record, so I don't want the shaking of the phone and all that stuff. And then at the end, I'll probably just do an overview of the entire room so you can get to see it. But I'm just hoping that this will help anyone that wants to either start building or or at least the pros get a laugh out of some of the mistakes that I've made as I've gone along. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the kickboard on the bottom. Yeah, that was nothing more than just Kyle had cut it out to size and I painted it and installed it. So that's it. Stay tuned for the right side, right wall video, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this.